Ew.
What are you drinking today?
Hello, Nomads, and welcome to our catch-up episode for September of 2024. We are back from... Brandon's losing it over there already. We're back from a little break. We took a break over the month of September. You know, kids starting school, just winding down from summer vacations, getting back into the swing of things. So, yeah, we needed a little break, but we're excited to be back. At least I am. I don't know about you guys, but I am. But who do I have with me? I have David.
Hello. Pleasure to be had.
We have you, yes. And we have Brandon also.
Player 3 has joined the conversation.
All right. Let's kick this conversation off right, because we've been gone for a while. We haven't. I'm trying to think of the last time we did a catch up episode. It was like the beginning of August, was it? Because we skipped, because we took a break in September, and we didn't do one at the end of August. So it's been almost 2 months since we've talked about what we've been playing.
And stuff has been coming out.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a ton of stuff on my list. I probably won't hit all of it, but I wanted to start with big one that I've been playing lately. You guys know what it is. You guys know it. You guys love it. Everybody seems to love it.
I don't know because I don't have a PS5.
Well, I'll tell you about it. It's Astro Bot. And it's as good as everybody says it is. I think you have to have a special place for that genre of game, like 3D platformer.
What's the genre?
3D
and
platformer.
The PlayStation.
And the PlayStation. It is very like straight homage to the history of PlayStation, which I...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know nothing about this game. I haven't seen a trailer.
Yeah, Astro Bot is essentially...
It looks kind of generic looking, like honestly. Like it looks like a...
It's very...
platformer.
It's I think from the trailers and stuff, you can get that impression. But once you get into it, if you have an affinity for PlayStation and the history of PlayStation, then you'll love this game. Because like the whole conceit of this game, if you don't know, it is a 3D platformer. You play as little robot, Astro Bot. They crash land on this planet, and their mothership is like a PlayStation 5. So they crash on this planet. An alien steals a part of the PlayStation 5, and all the other parts are like scattered throughout different galaxies. So you have to go find the parts to rebuild your ship, and you also have to rescue all these bots along the way, and bring them back to like your home base. So like there's hidden
Mario game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if you think of a Mario game, you're collecting stars throughout the levels, but instead of stars, you're collecting bots.
Or what was the last one where you're building a hat or a star? You know, is it the stars? Was it stars?
Odyssey. You click moon.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey.
Moon,
yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, the bots are the thing in this one, but yeah, the thing. I mean, there's regular, just normal bots, and then you also get like the references to different PlayStation characters in the bots as well. So there's like the special bots. So there might be like a Leon Kennedy bot from like Resident Evil, or there might be a Kratos bot from God of War, you know, stuff like that. Make it tons of references to PlayStation throughout the years. But yeah, it's like, it is, again, I think you have to have an affinity for 3D platformers to really appreciate it and enjoy it, because it's probably one of the best one of those that I've played. It is definitely on par with like the best 3D Marios, like Odyssey and like Galaxy. Those are up there in terms of...
That's pretty hallowed ground.
Yeah. I'm
gonna be playing this soon.
It is that good. And like the fact with like all the functionality and like the DualSense controller, you get all the haptic feedback and stuff with the triggers and the rumble and the noise like coming out of the controller, that like it all just enhances the experience.
I mean, I've got a PlayStation 5 and I don't touch it really that often.
Yeah,
because I've got Game Pass, so I'm always on over there.
Like, hey, let me borrow that thing.
Yeah,
you're not using it. I'll take it.
No, well, I got a kid's birthday coming up, and he's asking for Astro Bot, so I do have it in my near future.
Nice.
It just feels really like feels like a marketing like a market, I don't know, like a market game that a marketing team came up with, and like we're gonna make.
It's really not though. It doesn't feel gross. Like it doesn't.
I feel like Nintendo would do this.
Yeah,
Like I feel like Nintendo
there's.
would
It's
be like
not
on the
like
nose with their
it's not like
catalog.
advertising.
Well,
It's like it's a celebration. Like it is just like
Yeah.
the
Okay.
whole experience is just joyful. I would call it.
One player game, any kind of co-op in there at all, or no?
So they're at so it's I mean yeah it's a single player. But they are adding a like online speed running mode, so you can like compete with other people in these special speed running challenge levels. But other than that, there isn't like any multiplayer component. It's just a straight up 3D platformer.
What would you say is like the thing that this game is doing that you can't experience with something like its competitor, such as Nintendo with a Mario game? Like, what is this doing that's just like, hey, really, you should experience it on this PS5?
It's doing some things that I've never seen done in like a 3D platformer before. Like, you know how Mario has its like its power ups. You know, you got in like Galaxy, you got the cloud power up, or like the bee power up. You know, the bee suit, stuff like that. Like those are persistent throughout the game and throughout the levels. But with Astro Bot, they take it's almost like a new gimmick like every single level. You know,
Okay.
like I don't want to
Cool.
Like
just to give
like,
you
just it's
it,
that game with a two-player game that won Game of the Year a couple years ago. Just the two
It
of
Takes
us or
Two.
It
whatever.
Takes Two. Yeah.
It Takes Two. That was like that, where like every level there was
Yeah.
some gimmick, but
Yep.
it was like if Nintendo did it, like
and
game design. It was very
feels I don't want to give like too many away, but
Bit
just to give you an example, like there's a world where you get a power up where like you can shrink down to like the size of like a mouse or something, and
Yeah.
like there are there's parts of the level where you're supposed to be big, but then when you shrink down, there's like entire other like full sections of the level in like the mini version, or like there's a level where you are basically like a sponge, and you when you go into water you soak up and you become huge, and then you're like putting out fires and stuff, and you're smashing through walls, and
Oh,
like they're doing a lot of things that I've never seen done in a platformer, and like they just
creative.
keep introducing new mechanics, throughout every level in every galaxy, and it just keeps you engaged throughout the whole thing. And like I'm not one to 100% games, but I've been, as I'm going, I'm getting every bot, I'm getting every puzzle piece, I'm finding every secret exit. I'm trying to get everything along the way before like I move on to the next thing. And I'm not usually one to do that. So
you're playing, and I'm assuming your son is playing with you, and he's 5.
He's
right?
5, yeah. Yeah.
So I remember you guys were playing a little bit when we were over at your house.
Yeah.
By the way, Eric had a birthday. We forgot to take a photo and put it on our social
I know.
media, but it was nice to see it.
Yeah.
We live just out of each other's reach, where we can't just drive to each other's. I think we're like an hour, 40 minutes apart from each other, something like that. So we went to his 30th birthday party, surprise party that he was spoiled on.
Yeah, right.
But I remember for a brief moment you were jamming with your son there. Does he get into the game? Does the game do well? Because like that's the thing. That's a strong thing where like adults are challenged in Nintendo games, but Nintendo can make it for like easy enough that kids can play it.
So
was he able to do this with this game? Or
I mean, he likes watching more than playing, anyways. But I feel like I think the mainline levels are easy enough that a kid could get through it. 5, 6, 7-year-old can get through it. But they also, I mean, same with like Mario, they have the normal levels, but they also have like the Wicked Groove hard cider. Oh, it's the fall time for sure. But yeah, like Mario, they have the normal levels, but they also have like challenge levels for those like hardcore people who want to actually get into like the platforming challenges and like the speedrun challenges. So they do a really good job of balancing that. And like, you don't have to go through and collect every single bot if you don't want to. You can just kind of finish the level.
That's cool. So
yeah,
you can play it the way you want based on your level and how far you want to go. I love that because that's what Mario games do very well.
Yeah.
Now this game, from my perspective, is a smash hit for PlayStation. Just another exclusive that they just knock out of the park. They're really good with their exclusives. So, do you see this as being part of their like a franchise game? Like oh yeah, like now this is a new character and like we'll get more of these.
They
And
got
I
it.
could
Seems
see
he's
that
the
100%.
mascot.
Yeah. PlayStation hasn't really had a mascot in a while. Like there was like Crash Bandicoot, which PlayStation doesn't even own Crash Bandicoot anymore.
Right.
And
You
like
can't use Kratos. He's just murdering everybody.
right, Kratos isn't like a family friendly like
No.
face of PlayStation. So like yeah, I feel
Right.
like they're kind of
It's like Horizon
elevating
Zero Dawn chick.
Astro Bot. Yeah,
Yeah, Aloy or whatever.
Aloy, but yeah,
But-
same thing. You need like a fun face to the company.
Yeah, a Mickey
you know?
Mouse kind of character. Like
Right.
they're like short and cute and adorable. Like yes, so
And like Astrobot,
it was a good move.
yeah, I feel like Astrobot, like also the design of him like represents, PlayStation, like sleek and shiny and like state of the art, technology. That's what they're going for, anyways. So like
Yeah.
I think it represents
Not that
PlayStation really
console.
well. Yeah,
Console's a giant beefy modem from the 1990s.
yeah, I don't mind how it looks, but you get a good. Well, it's
great
nice. It's nice in the game because the PlayStation 5 is your ship. So like you're at your home base, you're Astrobot Tiny, and you just see this towering PlayStation 5 all like broken apart, and so you're like
Does look
you're
like
trying
a
to put it
building,
back
a
together.
future,
Yeah.
like a future building too, I guess.
But yeah,
Nice.
like it's silly in a lot of ways, but it just adds to the charm, and I'm having a great time. I think I'm in a little over halfway. I've beaten 3 out of 5 galaxies, and I've collected every bot along the way, so I'm getting there. And there's like it says there's 300 bots. There's really like a couple more hidden ones, over 300, but I think I'm at like 180 out of 300 bots so far. So. It's a good time for sure.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I'm glad that game was a hit. I know people are pumped about it.
Yeah,
And when
definitely.
there was a little hype when it came out, but then other people just seem like, yeah, it's genuinely like just a great video game.
Yep, absolutely.
Good
If
job.
you
I
like
thought they
fun, then that
Meow.
that is right. That is one thing I like. Also, that's refreshing about this game. Like, it just gets back to the root of what video games are, and they're supposed to be fun, like just pure fun. Like sometimes you can get lost in the sauce a bit with games like, oh, it needs to be like gritty open world, fucking 1,000 things to do. No, this game has a mission.
Per second.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of that, this game looks gorgeous also, and it runs incredibly well. Like just like the amount of like stuff that they put on screen is really impressive. Like you'll be like in a field of like apples, and like you're just doing your spin move and they're just flying all over the place, and like
I love that stuff. I love that stuff because those are like tech playgrounds a little bit.
Yeah,
because it's cartoony,
exactly.
so you really can push like the amount of stuff on the thing because not worrying about like high detail. It's cartoonish, so I'm sure they're generic shapes. So like, yeah, if there's gonna be apples, let's get a bunch of apples. What happens when a character just like spins around in 60 frames a second and just
I
love that
looks
stuff.
really good.
It's fun. It's good. Nintendo's good at that, and they're not powerhouses with their consoles at all. They're not powerful consoles, but their art direction is still it's great, and they can do they can get a good amount of things on.
They know how to work around their limitations for sure, especially with their like major franchises.
Right. Exactly. No, that's cool.
But yeah, that's Astrobot.
So Eric approves.
I do approve. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep working through that one.
To get there.
Does Dave? What is the thing you got then over there? You got something you recommend or steer clear of?
Oh yeah. Well, I've been in kind of a Lord of the Rings kind of zone lately, where
You don't say.
But Dave, I had my whole family, my 2 young boys, basically 6 and 10, their birthdays, right? And my wife. We watched extended versions.
It's insane.
3.
Fellowship. Well, we watched Fellowship of the Ring not too long ago, so we didn't watch that. But we watched 2 Towers and Return of the King. That is a lot of Lord of the Rings. So I am with you. I am with you on this.
That is a lot of Lord of the
Rings.
I mean, I was
so
telling you guys
good.
before recording. My wife she's making these by hand Hobbit costumes for my little boys. Are going to be Sam and Frodo, and it's just fucking. I'll
Awesome.
never get tired of Lord of the Rings.
It's
I
the
don't know. I'm so
OG.
jazzed to talk about Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
Like I was trying to tell my wife, like I'm
It's
like
just great at what it is.
it came out like what 30 years before D&D, and like we have always had stories of like dragons and stuff like that, but like
Mhm.
fantasy, a lot of it comes from this stuff. But yeah. I've been watching the Rings of Power second season, episode
Careful with
7.
spoilers,
I
because
just
I've only seen
finished.
the first season, and I
Okay.
liked it. Okay,
Well,
but like, if you can, please be careful because I want to watch. I've only seen like half of the first episode. My wife, we're
yeah.
gonna get ready to watch it, but
Well, we know who the bad guy is.
yeah. Oh yeah, if you watch
We
the
know.
first season, you're showing that. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Eric.
Oh,
Have you seen the first
don't worry
season?
about spoilers for me. I
I was
probably
gonna
won't
say.
watch it.
Oh yeah, he's a Potter boy. That's his family.
Yeah, I
Nah.
don't hate Lord of the Rings at all. Like
No, I
it's
know.
just not. Yeah, I don't know. I just never got into it.
You were just 5 years old when Fellowship of the Ring came out. I got it, man.
It's good.
I was literally
So good.
5 years old. It came out in 2000, right? No, I was 6. I was 6.
2001?
2001, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Okay,
6.
yeah, I was around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
somewhere
remember
there.
Yeah,
watching
Dave
it
and I were
though
like
when it came
18,
out.
19, 20 years old. We were like prime, dude.
I remember.
Mind melting.
I remember like my
It was our Star
dad.
Wars.
He put it on or something, and I remember walking in the room and watching it. I'm like, what am I watching? What is this? Like, it wasn't until years
Right.
later where I actually like watched the full thing through.
Yeah. Wow, it sounds
Sorry,
kind of
Dave. I know
cool.
you're trying to get
No,
through, but this
no.
is Lord of the Rings. It's like it's big
Everybody,
as Star Wars,
everybody,
man. You can't just
everybody has a history of Lord of the Rings, like in one way or another. Like
yeah.
you either roll your eyes at it or you know it and you love it, and if you know it, you probably love it. So everybody has a feeling about
I'm
it.
right
But
in the middle of those two
this,
spectrums, I would say.
We'll find out how somehow. It might be the show. So go ahead, Dave.
I don't know. The
What's
Rings of
going on with
Power.
season
It's
2?
story. It's like a chunk of the Silmarillion, basically the book that takes place before all the Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the
stuff.
Rings Bible.
Yeah, and there's a lot.
Literally the Bible.
I'm in the middle of reading that one, and there are parts where it's just like this person was the son of this person who had 2 kids, and that name was named this and this, and then they had 4 kids. And
I think I would kill myself if I
paragraphs
read
of
that.
that sometimes. But there are good. There
Yeah,
are
I
good
was told
chapters.
you're supposed to do an audiobook of it. It's much
The
easier.
that I could get down with. For sure.
They have
Yeah, I
a
need to do
audio
that.
version book read by Andy Serkis, which is on
Oh, that's
Spotify.
actually
and
That's
it's
pretty
right,
actually
sick.
Dave.
very
You
good.
told me that.
It's pretty sweet.
I listen to that going to
He's
sleep
so
sometimes.
awesome. That would
So
be great.
Andy put
permeated
me
my
to
whole life.
sleep.
Then he starts doing the voices, and you're like almost asleep. He starts going, "Hey, I'm gonna come to get ya," and he gets
Yeah, dude.
all sorts of shit. But no, the second season's fucking really good. It's got my brain fully in Lord of the Rings mode. It's super awesome to see the story progress. I think it's a little more focused than the first season. The first season took place in like
Yeah.
Numenor and the ocean, and then this town over here, and like the
Numenor
elves
was
over
boring
here,
as
and then
heck.
you got the hobbits, and then you got the not Gandalf, whatever his name is, but
Is the Black Elf
Not
in
Gandalf.
season 2 because he was the
yeah,
best part of season 1. He was
yeah.
so cool. I
Oh,
love that
best part
storyline.
of season 2 is fucking Sauron. God damn it, like
Okay.
he's amazing.
Oh yeah.
He's a great bad guy
Okay.
because he's always like my kid sat
He's
down
a
and
great
watched it
bad
next
guy.
to me.
Yeah.
And like he's like, that guy's bad, isn't he? He's like, he's got an evil smile to him. And I'm like, yes, he does, little man. Like, good catch. But I don't know how I haven't gotten to this part of the Cimmerillion. I'm still back in the Morgoth days. But I'm assuming they take a fair amount of liberties with the stories and kind of stretching out parts and embellishing parts and introducing storylines and how they made this thing or how they made that thing. But it is super cool to see how they're tying everything together. And like where it
I was gonna
ends because obviously.
Okay, is the movies and the Hobbits or I'm sorry. I said that horribly. Are movies that we saw of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit canon with the show,
Yes.
or are they loosely working together where like that's an interpretation and this is an interpretation, or they're like, no, we're trying to kind of be like in the same cinematic universe as
I
the
think
movies?
yes. I think they're technically both playing off of the same source material, so they're both
Okay.
telling the same story.
Okay.
But
It
this is
felt
just
like
stories that
right.
nobody knows because the Cimmerilion's like fucking
Right.
dense. So, but I could see that. I guess this is supposed to go for 5 seasons, Rings of Power, and this is season 2.
S- It's a
I
smart
could,
move by Amazon as long as they can get the audience and get people behind
yeah,
it. Because
Yeah.
this is
season
gonna.
one was
It's fucking
one of the
great.
best looking shows I've ever seen. Like they say they
Well,
spent like $1 billion.
I was gonna say
It
this, but that's why they had to add it fucking ads to Prime Video because they spent
To
so much
pay
money
for
on
fucking.
fucking Rings of
yeah.
Power.
Well, I could see why. You get to this like, and there's only one episode left. Final episode comes out next week, and I'm just dying to see. But
Oh
I
wow,
could see,
really?
I could see this show pulling off a Rogue One and being the end of season 5 is the beginning of Lord of the Rings Fellowship, where they have the battle where they attack Sauron.
Oh,
Like
with
that's
the
gonna do.
Sildor and shit. Oh wow, how much time has
That's
gone by in this show?
I don't know,
Okay, all right,
but
okay.
that's where I see coming. This is gonna be the Rogue One of Lord of the Rings to the Star Wars, like the Fellowship, essentially. It's
Dave,
good.
would you
It's
agree
good. So
that?
good.
Would you agree that there's no bad Lord of the Rings material? Or do you think that there's weak
Um,
spots? Because I'm in the camp that because I can see Star Wars, like, yeah, there's shit that like
Ugh.
episode 2 I didn't really care for, the last
yeah,
Star Wars movie I didn't care for. But like I love Star Wars a lot. I
Hmm.
just recognize that there's things that just like are fucking not really enjoyable. But I look at Lord of the Rings, I love everything. The video games, the movies, the Hobbit movies. I fucking love them.
well,
I love I love the
there's
music.
some of the
I
last
like
two
the books that I've
Hobbits.
read.
The
Huh?
last two Hobbits were a little. They weren't as good as the first one. They got a little. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
They
I love
got they
them.
got a little with
I don't know. Yeah.
the elf dwarf romance thing thrown in there. That was a little
That's
much,
like
but there's.
such a minor part of such a long again, I
I
watched the
know
extended version of this shit. So to me it's just like barely in it.
the smog
I
shit is
actually
the fucking
think
best. Like this
see it
this
is really good.
prime this prime like Lord of the Rings right there is so good.
Those dwarves are really good,
It's
honestly,
just
because if
like
you watch the Lord of the Rings and
I
you
know
watch
who
Gimli
Smaug
and how
is.
he acts,
The dragon.
I just got done
yeah.
watching like 20 hours of Lord of the Rings extended shit, and Gimli is mostly comic relief.
Yeah,
Mostly.
pretty
He's
much.
I think 5% of the time he's being serious or emotional. Everything else is just a joke,
The
right?
dude, some of the stuff in the
So when you
extended ones
watch
they
The
get a
Hobbit and
little.
people are like, "There's too many jokes," like, did you not watch Lord of the Rings? Because Gimli's a joke the whole time, and so is like, what I'm saying? The only one that's serious is Aragorn. Everyone else is like making a joke. So when you watch The Hobbit, those dwarves are actually
Yeah,
kind
some
of
of
they're
the
multi-layered, and there's
they're,
emotional ones,
they're
there's
all right.
serious ones. Like, I don't know. I gotta defend it
Saying a lot
because I
less.
think they're. Anyways, just to
They
say,
weren't bad movies. They
even
just
the
weren't as good as the other ones. But no, I don't think Lord of the
not as
Rings
good.
has
I will
many.
agree to that. I will agree to that. I will agree
They
to
don't
that.
have as
I
many
will agree to
holes as a lot of franchises. Usually have something bad that comes out for them. But no,
I'm
Lord of the
just
Rings is
Especially
happy
solid
that
through
you're
and through.
happy
And
with
this
Lord of the Rings
is
because I want to see it, and I
this
love Lord of the
the
Rings. And I'm just
season is
glad that the
great.
second season is
It's
good.
yeah, oh yeah, you'll see where it goes. But no, that's me. Enough of my nerdy stuff. Brandon, what have you been jumping over
Oh,
to?
hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a
What?
second. I
Oh,
want you
you're
to keep
supposed
going with this Lord of the Rings things
oh.
because you're playing the Mines of Moria game.
I was gonna hold on that,
Which
but
Yeah,
I can
it's
talk
a
I
good
about
know,
that.
but
segue.
like
It's
like it
just
makes
cram it
sense. I
together.
All
talked about my
right.
fucking wife making Lord of the Rings
Just keep
costumes.
going
Like
with the Lord
nice.
of the Rings.
This is just the Lord of the
Get
Rings
it
Want
all
more
thing.
out of
Lord
the
of the
way up
Rings?
front.
I'll give you more
There's a
Lord
fucking
of the
Lord of the Rings
Rings.
tattoo.
Okay, we can't air this on YouTube now.
Oh my god, that's a nipple.
Things are getting weird.
All right, well,
Sorry, internet. I just showed my nipple.
you can't do that.
Watch
I
the
apologize,
YouTube
man.
video for that hot exclusive.
Hey, Bert
Yes.
Kreischer or whatever Kirshner
Ye-
can like do his stand up with his shirt off. I
Kreischer.
think I can.
Brett
Yeah,
Chrysler. Yes,
Brett
we know.
Chrysler.
Brett Kreischer.
Chrysler Building.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. I've been like, I'm reading the Cimmerillion. I'm watching Rings of Power, but I'm also playing. I was playing Return to Moria.
Was until womp
That's
womp.
We're used to the
we'll
word was.
we'll get
Yeah.
there. We'll be going
That'll
back
be the
into the
closing
mines.
part of it.
Yeah,
Then,
right.
right. Foreshadowing.
So Return to Moria.
Moira.
Moira, like that
Moria.
Overwatch lady, Moria.
Moria.
Survival crafting game. We know Brandon loves those.
I know, even Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, $20.
I don't know.
Everything
20. I
about
mean,
this
yeah,
is to be like, yes, but like I can't.
you got. I mean, you might have to eventually just to see
It's 4 players, dude. Once it's on sale for like $14, $12, then I will support them and buy it. I
uh,
need to be on sale though.
no, it'll be eventually because I mean, it is good.
Or probably
Survival
Game
crafting,
Pass.
like everybody knows survival crafting. You walk up to rocks and trees and you collect and you craft and then you get armor and then you go do stuff. Usually that's how it goes. But this one ties into the Lord of the Rings. After after the Lord of the Rings movies, the dwarves decide to go and retake the mines of Moria. And you can they come from all different corners of the land or whatever, and they're going to blast their way in there. They're trying to get through the East Gate. This follows the books rather than the movies because the door of Durin is still in one piece in this. There's no like weird sea monster that comes out and tries to eat them.
Okay.
But
Okay.
essentially, you're one of those dwarves
That's
that
pretty
comes from one
cool
of those
though.
lands. You make your own you make your own dwarf. You choose your own beard. You choose what color you want your little things on your beard. You choose your mustache. You choose your armor and all sorts of cool stuff. You pick a land that you come from, and you get separated from everybody at the doors, and you basically becomes a survival crafting game of you trying to get back to the other dwarves essentially.
You might forget
So
the survival part. I can imagine the crafting part. I mean, you're
yeah,
dwarves. It's rock. It's stone. It's fucking wood, and you're building
a lot
wood.
of
I get
gems
that
and
part,
shit.
but yeah, I get that part. The survival part, because that might be enough for me to pull the trigger, as long as it's somewhat fun, or is it a secondary thing? Like, what do you just being attacked by things? So you just need to protect yourself? Are you exploring and carving out and
You're
Is
building?
there a food and
exploring.
water meter?
There's a hunger meter,
Ew.
or like
There's a hunger meter.
there's 1 meter, and you just go to a hearth and you say, I want mushroom soup, and then you eat the soup, and that's it. And then if you eat soup in the morning, you get some regen. If you eat meat
Eat
at
those
night, you
shrooms.
get some health based things. There's only I mean there you do end up finding like full lists of stuff that it's something will make your attack better or something will make your defense
Why do
better.
people want that in video games? It's like, I want to have people, I want to be like hungry, so I have to stop playing the video game and eat. But
Do you
then,
want to
like, they don't
drink
give a
like a
shit about the part
magic
where you poop
potion?
it out. It's like,
No,
now you gotta poop. Like, we only care about 50% of that process, but not the
there's
other
no
one.
dwarf
That's the
poop.
same.
That's true.
It's a
Aw,
survival game.
it's a bummer.
You're gonna get backed up and fucking die. You have to poop. You have to
That's part
defecate.
of
You have to do this.
part of living in the mines is having to eat.
Gamers would eat
Having to
that up.
eat.
They would, oh, I can poop in the game.
I like
Where do dwarves shit?
In
And
Ark,
like
You could poop.
stone.
I don't know
Pooping.
if I've
What
seen
is
I don't
for you?
think I've seen a dwarf toilet yet.
I prefer like if you're making food in a game, like don't give me a hunger meter. If like no, if you don't eat any food ever, you're just always base value, but if you decide to cook and make stuff, you get enhancements.
Yeah.
Like Breath of the Wild or something like that.
Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you don't have to cook stuff, but if you do, you'll be rewarded for doing it.
I like that. I like that. I would rather
This
that.
one,
I would
you
be
only
perfect,
got
but
to
I don't
eat
like
once
crafting
a
games. Maybe
day.
people do survival games.
It's not a big thing. You're not packing lunches and going on picnics and shit. You're fucking
I need to find
majority
some
of your time,
mushrooms.
90%, 95% of your time is spent, exploring mines, setting up because you'll run into orcs and you'll run into goblins and wolves and all sorts of
Goblins,
weird
right?
shit down there. Spiders. There's a fair amount of rats. There's some cool
Of course
sections. I
there's
think
rats.
because there's a campaign part
Fantasy.
of this, so it's not just like a random world that they're just dropping you into. There is an actual campaign where it's a story where you're finding things. You're going from one checkpoint to the next checkpoint, trying to, you know, you're obviously like reading scrolls and stuff. I didn't get terribly far before the terrible cult mine collapse happened to my save game data,
Oh,
but
oh.
um,
What's the
yeah, it is
You
it
have
is
more
super.
than one save, or what?
Was that?
You have more than one save.
It's like a world save essentially. It's kind of like a Minecraft world or
Oh,
something like that. Yeah, I died and my Xbox froze, and I decided to try and restart the game, and I came back. It's not a total complete loss because the stuff that was on my character I still have. It's just the rest of the world is just wiped, and I'm essentially starting. But I do have like my nice handy steel axe and all this other stuff.
Did you
So
say?
it's like a new
Oh
game
yeah, no,
plus,
never
but
mind.
you have like awesome stuff.
Yeah, a little bit. That's why it's only a little delay. I'm getting into some Halloween
Hold
games
on though.
now, and then I'll come
Yeah,
back
hold
to it.
on. I might return to Moria with you
But
when it's
oh,
on sale, and because I had like 4-player co-op.
yeah, and I mean, it would be kind of interesting. It's
That's
not.
cool.
I was gonna say there's not a ton of action to it, but combat's fairly simple. But
Maybe I won't play this game.
What's
yeah,
the what's
you're
the
not gonna you're
what's
not doing like crazy 10-hit combos and shit like that.
what's the
You gotta be
perspective? Is it like third person over the shoulder? Or?
third person,
Okay,
yeah,
all
for
right.
sure.
For some reason, I was
Yeah,
picturing
probably
it
not,
like
yeah.
isometric, sort of like top downish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like art. Yeah,
and they use
like
light
Dungeon Keeper or something like that.
light to play into it, where like there are a fair amount of lights down in Moira with like sun shafts and stuff like that. So there's like an elven quarter of down in there where they have all sorts of weird, crazy elven stuff. But it's like as you're collecting and scrapping and fighting orcs and all, tearing down all their shit, you're discovering recipes and stuff from like stuff that you rebuild and actually make it look like a normal dwarven little section of town, which is super cool to see. And then I think when you get to the next area, like I think Moria, that area of the game, I say it twice every time. I can't help it. I think that part may be the what do they call it? The generated part of the game.
Oh, okay.
So,
Cool.
but I mean, you're
That
going
makes
from
sense, like
section to
they-
section.
yeah.
You're finding like story beats from like the Fellowship when they went through the mines. Like you're finding like Hobbit, plates and knives and stuff like that, or these little notes that Gandalf was leaving to other wizards and shit like that. So it's more Lord of the Rings for me to just keep shoveling down my nerdy gullet.
That's a lot of
all
Lord
over.
of the Rings talk.
It is. I know your eyes glazed over for a little bit there.
All right, I got my Astro
It's
Bot
all
in,
good.
so I'm happy about
It's
it.
all good. Yeah, if you like crafting games, this is good. If you like Lord of the Rings games, this is good. If neither of those are your flavor, then this is probably not good for you. But any more Lord of the Rings I can get is good. So that's
Brandon,
enough for me. I'm done talking.
Brandon, what are you working with over there?
Total shift. So the big one for me, I guess, would be Rogue, Robocop, Rogue City.
Yes.
Robocop, Rogue City. Yes.
So this game came out November of 2023, and I mean, most people are probably like, oh, a Robocop game. Like, who's asking for this, right? Like, we asked for it probably like 20 years ago.
And there was a bad one that they made like 20 years ago.
Yeah, and a
Sunsoft
bad
game.
movie that came out like
NES
about
game?
like 10.
Well, there's that one, and then there was one, I don't know, like PS2 era.
Oh, I don't remember that
No.
one. I know NES one wasn't that bad.
Let's just say
It
that
wasn't
RoboCop really doesn't have a great game, right? But anyways, something happened. Apparently, this game, it's like a AA game, fucking blew people away.
Well,
so
did you know this was the same developer as the Terminator, that like decent Terminator game that came out a couple years
I heard.
ago?
Is that
no, but I'm not
was that one
surprised by
called?
that.
I was just looking it up. I forget what
I've
exactly
got one on my
what
wish
it was
list that I want to
called.
get.
I think it's probably the one. That's
Yeah, there was some hype behind this
Terminator
one.
Terminator Resistance is what it's called.
Oh,
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think this guy has high scores. Like this has a pretty good rating with critics and stuff like that. And players. So
yeah, I heard good things about
there was
this.
hype about it. Dave and I have definitely been talking about it over the year, just like, oh, one day I'm gonna get it. One day I'm gonna get it. Well,
one of these days.
it was like $30. I got it. Like I like to get a lot of my single player games. So I just like to buy them on sale.
Listen,
I'm
Brandon.
like, wait, I bought it.
In and out.
I good?
You come and go. You come and go. I can see your face, kind of. Yeah.
Video's bad.
I feel like Sarah must be streaming something heavy or something.
Hold on. I'll leave and I'll come back.
All right. Okay.
It's getting a little glitchy. When you're like, it drives me nuts in video games where you have the video and then the audio get offset.
Yeah. I was seeing that happen. Yep.
Oh, it drives me nuts.
You're back.
You're better.
You seem better for now. All right.
Good? Okay. All right. So, anyways, I'm playing this game, right? I heard all the buzz about this RoboCop game. I like the first movie or the second movie, whatever. I'm not that huge into it. This game takes place between 2 and 3, so it's trying to be in the world. So it's not like
crazy shit. Because didn't 3 shit got really weird in RoboCop?
I didn't like 3, and I remember not finishing it a long time ago. I don't know. I just remember this is not a good movie. But I don't know. RoboCop, it's fun, whatever. I don't know. But I hopped in the game, and all I can say is I feel so far, I'm only a few hours in, I feel everything that everybody's talking about this is 100% accurate, if that's what you like. It's a very smart move, where they're not making RoboCop 1, but the video game. Let's do origin story, none of that.
Yeah.
They're this is all right, I'm going to make a little soapbox moment here, but this is how you do legacy sequels. This is how you do it. I'm sorry. I'm going to probably annoy a lot of people, probably even some hardcore fans of this show, but I'm sorry, but this is how you do a good sequel. You make it for the people that made 1 and 2 or whatever, RoboCop popular. They like that movie. They grew up with that movie, liking that movie, telling people to watch it. They love RoboCop. And then the people that made this game felt yeah, we love the first movie. We love the second movie. Let's make another one. So this is I feel like the third that we should have got, except we're playing it, right? And it's not made for a younger audience that trying to get fuck that. No, this is the movie. So what I love this, and this bothered me about video games. And a lot of games do this, and maybe you can't unsee it when I tell you this, but or maybe you don't give a shit, but it's I'm a human being and everyone else is a human being. I could take 50 bullets and just hide behind a corner and let my health come up, or just stab myself and I'm healed again. But they only take 5 bullets and they're dead. Makes no sense, right? Uncharted.
I was just gonna say Uncharted. Yeah,
love those games. You can literally take out 1,000 people by the game's over, but you can get also 1,000 bullets and be okay. It makes sense when you play RoboCop.
Oh yeah.
The controls are like Xbox 360 controls, right? It feels kind of slow and sluggish, right? You kind of move, but
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
And you just have a pistol for most of the time, and you walk in a room. And they're just fuck you, copper, fuck this guy, they freak out, all these thugs and stuff like that, and they're all shooting at you, and you just stand in the open and you just get hit. There's no Gears of War.
Right, it's not like a cover shooter or
cover
anything.
mechanics.
There's none of that.
No,
just a walking tank.
He does not need that. He literally stands there like an old school shooter. You just stand there and how many bad guys are in this room? And when you do it, you got to aim for those heads because instant kill. Some of them have helmets. You got to knock it off. But everything that people are saying, it feels like an old game. It feels like it's part of this movie universe. All those things, they're right. When you shoot somebody and it hits something, money flies around, or it's the graphics are pretty good. The animations, the acting is not so good. That's hit or miss. What's his name? Peter Weller.
I was gonna say, do they have his voice?
He is in the role.
Okay, great.
It's a love letter to, if you love the first 2 movies, you like video games, this is your game. You have to play it as a fan of that world. It makes me want to go and watch the first 2 movies again because I haven't seen them in a long time.
Well,
and I'm not
maybe we should
but this is how you
put it on
do
the schedule because I've never seen any of the RoboCop movies.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
It would be fun. It's only like a 12-hour campaign. I could see maybe doing RoboCop 1, 2, and then the game just to get
that would be
this
cool.
world in. It's not a lot. But like I don't know. I'm sorry. I hated that last Ghostbusters movie, and I'm like, this is not made for me.
How
I
about the
love those movies, and it's not. It's made for like kids, and I don't
how
know.
about the
It was just like
RoboCop remake? I heard mixed things about that
that
one.
was bad too. I tried watching that. It was horrible.
Okay,
Um,
heard some people
this
like it.
game, this game, like it takes its time. Like it's an action movie. It's like tank controls almost. You're just like slowly just shooting fuckers all. Like it's grabbing people and throwing them into walls, and it's great. But between like you can do some it's a big level. And there's different areas. It's not one big world. It's like different levels you go to or stages, and you can do side missions. Hey Robo, come here.
hmm.
If you see this, help me out. Hey, this kid's been missing. If you know, you can go around and do some side quests as a
That
cop.
sounds cool.
But you are mostly doing like this thing where there's called the new guy. There's a new guy in town, and he's got this new drug, and he's just like taking over like the media, and he's just and you're just like working with Murphy, your sidekick from the first two movies. She's with you, and just doing jobs together, and it just feels like they made this for no one else. Like, hey, you want to get into RoboCop? Go ahead, but we're not making it for Gen Z or anything like that. They're not. They're making it for the fans of the movies, and it feels right. Like this feels like it was made by the people that made the movie. The story is actually pretty impressive. I'll give this away. RoboCop's starting to malfunction, starting to
No,
shut down at bad moments. So internally, they're freaking out and be like, "You can't have a robot not being able to finish its job, like and save somebody or whatever." But then there's a psychiatrist interviewing you, and you do these things between missions where you're talking to her, like, "Hey, how do you want? What do you want to be called?" And you can say, "Call me, by my real name. Call me RoboCop. Call me Officer by my badge, whatever." Like, so it's cool that it has oh my god, RPG elements in a very first person shooter raw game. It's cool that it blends these two things. So it's like a Mass Effect thing. Like I can go around and do some side quests, and they'll talk at me, and I'll go do it, or I could just fucking go kill some druggies, and that's really fun. Like old school. Like
I think I
again, you're
want
not
this one
ducking
now.
behind shit. There's no cover system. You just walk in, like it's funny, it's hilarious. It's like, yo, motherfucker, they're like doing drugs, and they'll threaten you, like, we're gonna kill everybody and blah, all these violent things, and you're just like, you have the right to remain silent. And if you don't put your guns down, I will have to kill you. You're very dry, like Robo is. He's just like he's very matter of fact. And it's
Like
just
Robo
like
is.
he's what's gonna happen. Like, I'm just gonna kill everybody in here. But to keep things fresh, he's malfunctioning. So you'll have that Arkham Asylum thing, right? Where like he starts to be tormented by the Scarecrow, where like things will go out of picture and be weird and stuff like that. So I give them credit that they took a very basic gameplay and added RPG elements and a fun, interesting story to the game. All right,
You
so
gotta have the
that's
bad kid. What was that in RoboCop 1 or 2? Where they had the
two,
bad
two, two.
two? Oh yeah.
Yeah, two. Yeah.
Can't kill
So I
children.
highly recommend it. Even if you weren't big on the RoboCop or whatever, I think if you like a good old fashioned shooter, it feels in the nicest way. It feels like an Xbox 360 game. You remember Chronicles of Riddick had that game,
Yeah.
and
Butcher
they were like,
Pay. That
that
was fucking
Riddick game
sweet.
was good. It was like
Yeah,
it
I've heard
shouldn't
that's
have
good.
been good. It's like,
Hmm.
but it was really good, right? There's been a few games based off of these IPs, like Alien Isolation. Like, the Alien games are not that great. Alien Isolation was made with love. People who really cared about the franchise did not care about winning over everybody, only taking care of the fans that made Alien popular and have a franchise. Made it for those people. That's what I think RoboCop did. We're not trying to please everyone else. We're only trying to please those that loved it in the first place, and that's what this game is.
As it should. Well, it's good to hear. My kid did me a
All right, Eric.
favor by cashing in like $30 of my Microsoft points.
A favor.
Yeah, that I have to use it within 90 days,
Dave,
else it goes
if
away.
you like
So
the movies, I think you will love this game.
this may be on
Dude,
my
I've seen
quick
gameplay of
list.
this game, and I want to play it because you can pick
This
up
is
dudes and
funny.
just fucking chuck them out windows, and it looks
You
it
chuck
looks so
it.
fun.
It's funny because like I was working
Yeah.
my way towards a boss, and I'm like, all right, it's gonna be a boss fight. And I go through the door, and I can either shoot him or just grab him. So I was like, every time I grab somebody, I can chuck him against the wall, and I chuck him so hard they die. So I did this to the. I'm like, I thought it was a boss. And I just grabbed. He's like, you're not like fuck you, fucker. Just grabs like just threw him, and then he just like gets up. And he's all like fucked up. Cutscene starts, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have to shoot everybody. I can just grab. I'm a
Horribly
robot.
mean
I can just
people.
and the you throw them. You can throw them.
Yeah, you
far,
fucking
dude.
chuck
'Cause
them.
it's not like a human. You chuck them, and you can throw them at people, and they'll die. It's just like I don't know. It's stupid. It's mindless. But like when you watch RoboCop, he's just like, it's just I don't know. So anyway,
Sounds like
yeah,
a lot of
I
like,
highly
great
recommend it. I had a good time with it.
high
I had a good time with
violence, high
Oh yeah. Yep.
high
it. Yeah,
action.
it's got
Sounds
some
like a
heart
good
to
time.
it. It's got some heart to it. So good balance.
Damn, we're already at 45 minutes. We got to start blazing through some
That was
of
my
these.
long one. The next, yeah. It was
I mean,
fun.
I have a ton of them, but I'll shout out a couple here right now. Have you guys heard of Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip?
I don't know if I have.
This is a Steam exclusive at the moment.
Okay,
So I played it.
Nope.
I played it on my Steam Deck. But I heard a little bit of a buzz going around about this game. Mostly like the giant.
What's it called again?
Tiny
Tiny
Terry's Turbo Trip. You should look it up just so you can see like the art style and what it actually looks like.
Ooh, I like the art style.
But it just looks fucking silly. It's a silly little game. I beat it. It took me like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours to finish the whole thing. But it's cool because you're just little dude named Terry, and he's like, I don't know, he's in like elementary school or whatever. He's on summer vacation. The story's funny. Like his parents go on vacation but leave him at home because he's supposed to be in summer school, but then he just fucks off. He doesn't go to summer school. And the only thing he wants to do is go to space. That's his mission, to go to space. So he wants he wants to get a car so he can basically drive his car into space. So he works, gets a job for this like cab company so he can get a car, but he doesn't want to actually do the job. He just wants the car. So really the entire game is you are upgrading, you're doing things for like, it's like a mini open world. It's kind of cool. Like you're just in this town, and it is like open world. You can go anywhere and do anything, but it's very like compact.
Like a goat simulator.
Eric, I'm going to pause you real quick because I'm looking up who made this. Splash Team. Dave, remember Tinykin? Was it you that played that game with me on
Tinykin?
Pass? Or was it,
I love Tinykin. Yeah, this is the same developers?
Same people.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. No, I love Tinykin.
They were like that. They
one too.
created so much stuff in like one room or big room or a level. So that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, but basically,
well, I hope this comes to console, man. Damn, this looks awesome.
It's fun. You're just going around doing like favors for people in town, so you can get money or whatever the currency is. I forget what they call it, to upgrade your car to like make it basically upgrade the turbo boost in your car, so you can drive. Like it's fucking weird. There's this huge like highway up to space in the town. But you have to like upgrade your car, the turbo in your car enough to actually like boost all the way to space. Yeah.
Oh.
So like
as anyone would.
Right, exactly. So you're going around doing these favors for people, and like they're just random stuff. Like the honestly the writing, video game. I mean, we've talked about video games not really being funny before, or like, you know, humor falling flat in video games a lot of time. The writing in this is actually pretty good. Like I got some chuckles a couple times.
Not the same developer. I'm an idiot. Sorry. This is by Snackflat.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say,
my bad. They're bundled together right now. They're being bundled together.
See.
On Steam. Sorry.
Got it.
I thought that was okay.
But yeah, it's fun. Like I said, yeah, it's only on Steam right now, but it's Took me like 2-3
How much
hours
was it?
to finish it. It was only like $15 or something.
Okay.
So it's very, very cute little, quick little indie game.
I like nice little side quick ones that you can get done in like, you know, a week or two rather than
Yeah,
a
you got
month or
another
two.
That was, yeah, another
little game.
really quick one that I was doing on my Steam Deck was called Buckshot Roulette. So I don't know if
Sounds
you guys heard
interesting.
of this one? No. Okay.
Oh, it sounds like something I would see at like a bar in a corner over there.
So I mean, it's what it sounds like. It's basically just Russian roulette, but with a shotgun instead. So you basically you go into this room and you sit. It's like first person perspective. You sit across from this fucking creepy ass dude. He's kind of like you should Google it just to get a vibe for what this game looks like. But you're sitting across the table from this creepy fucker. He puts a shotgun in the middle of the table, and you're playing Russian roulette with a shotgun. But it's cool because you take turns essentially, and you can get items to increase like your chances or your odds of not like shooting yourself. So like you can get an item that I think it's like an energy drink or a beer or something. It lets you peek into the shotgun to see if the next round is either a live round or a blank. So you can decide whether you want to shoot yourself, or you can decide whether you want to have them like shoot themselves. The advantage there is I think if you choose to shoot yourself, you get to have another turn. But if you like defer, then it goes to them. So like there's a strategy involved when you're kind of going back and forth. But it's cool because there's other items. There's like a saw you can get to like saw off the shotgun, and it does double damage if they shoot themselves. Like there's I forget all the different combinations of items, but it's cool. Like a run, it's like a roguelike, but I mean, I don't even think you really get anything like per run, but I beat it, quote unquote, and it only took like 10 minutes to go through it. So it's a really quick, cool little thing. But that was
like
quick
online
on the Steam Deck.
Eric, it says Buckshot Roulette is a 2023 indie tabletop horror video game.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what that means. What's a tabletop horror video game and tabletop?
I don't know why they define it as tabletop. I mean, if you look at screenshots of it, like I said,
you're sitting at a table.
You're sitting at a table, and you're
across from you.
It's like, I mean, it's kind of like a strategy game. Like it's not a shooter, obviously, but you're just deciding on each turn whether you want to shoot yourself because either you want to take the risk or because you know it's a blank, and then you get to go again. So like there's more strategy involved, but I don't know why they call it a tabletop game. That's a weird genre. I guess I don't know what other genre I would classify this as because it is such a weird little unique thing. But yeah, check it out. It was like $3 or something, like super cheap. So
cheap, yeah.
But that was a cool one.
Nice.
But yeah, a couple quick hits on some indie ones there. What else you got, Dave?
Me, I played the Black Ops 6 beta. That's coming out actually fairly soon. In the next couple weeks, comes out early October.
Definitely I can't wait to play some Call of Duty. I haven't played some in a while. I've been eyeing up World War II for like 4 years.
Well,
want to get it. I heard that campaign was like one of their best. So
first one since Microsoft has bought them, and this one is going to be free for everybody on Game Pass. And
if you get the most expensive tier, they're doing all that tiered shit with Game Pass.
Oh,
now.
You have to have Ultimate to get this.
Yeah, which they're increasing the price of that to $20 a month.
That's already
which is ridiculous because I don't know. That's pricey.
It's getting pricey.
Yeah, man.
It's getting up there. So
like you got to deliver top tier games.
Yeah. If there was a tier of Game Pass that I could get and just exclude all the Call of Duty stuff and it makes it cheaper, then I would get that one.
Well, they should have I know it's usually like exclusives and then I don't know.
Because the lower tiers you don't get day one releases anymore. Like you only get that with
Okay.
Ultimate. So like the
Okay.
How long are they gonna make you wait after
it
release?
said
That's weird.
they said between 6 months and a year. So like,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
well, Call of Duty, thankfully, is still really good. This one, they just had multiplayer. They did not have the zombies or the campaign mode. Zombies looked like it was going back to like the standard round based, wave based stuff, but multiplayer was still fun as shit. The new thing this year, I feel like it's like Madden, where like they like
Oh yeah,
the
there's
new
always
thing
some
this
new
year
gimmick.
is this thing. This year they have Omni movement, which
Yeah, about fucking
is
time,
really
dude. I've
is
been asking this for
really
like 10
fucking
years.
it's kind of a game changer. It's like the same way that like
Yeah.
when Titanfall introduced like wall running everywhere. Like
Yeah, dude.
What is Omni
this isn't
movement?
wall
fluid.
running. So you
More
can
fluid.
basically like run and move in every direction. So like before in Call of Duty when you went prone on the ground
Yeah,
and like you wanted to like turn around, like your guy would like scoot on his belly and like turn all the way around.
sure.
Now you will like just basically you'll just like roll your midsection around and you can actually like move like you would like a normal human being. Like
Yeah, like PUBG does this. They did this like 10 years ago too. Like
yeah.
they're
It's
finally
so
just catching up to the
so
times.
you can run sideways instead of just forwards. So you can run backwards, you can dive
You
backwards, you can
couldn't
dive
do this before?
I don't think you could
I know.
run
It's like Halo.
backwards.
It's like Halo. When did you add sprint? Like, oh, it was until like Halo 4 when they added like the ability to sprint without it being an ability. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of
So
crazy,
yeah,
but
it's
Okay,
no,
I
this
gotcha.
makes it
Okay.
nice and smooth. So you got your slides, you got your dives, you got your runs in different directions, and then you got
Mhm.
the same like quick pace Call of Duty action that you normally get. I think
You should be able
there's
to
like
like
a
run over
handful of
things
levels.
too a little bit smarter. I think like you don't get caught like up on a chair and it's just like just
Yeah,
jerk like
the
you should plow through that. But I think now you like automatically might vault over stuff. Am I wrong? When I
yeah,
see
something
something
like
like
that.
that?
The climbing over stuff is way quicker. I don't.
Just
It's
hold
not
on
like
A. It's like
it's not just like a full animation. It's kind of more like the way that we'll say like an Assassin's Creed would have you like run over stuff, where
yeah,
you just kind of like
yeah,
climb up it quick and you're just like on to the next thing.
yeah. Because it's such a
So
fast moving game that
it's
they
fucking
needed
even
this.
faster now. Like
Yeah.
shit goes crazy. Like I was watching some Twitch people play it, and it's just like run, slide up, turn the corner, run, slide up, and like they are ripping ass around these levels. There's like 5 or 6 levels in the beta. I think most of them were new. But they were all fairly good. There was one that takes place in like a Blockbuster video and like a drive-through burger joint and stuff like that. I'm like, I love levels like that. That's
Okay.
fun. Uh, but yeah, it's your standard Mortal Kombat. It's your standard Call of Duty. The leveling system in multiplayer looks like it worked pretty much the similar, where you unlock guns at certain levels, and then you got to level those guns up specifically to unlock the attachments for each gun, et cetera, et cetera. There. I don't know if there were any new modes in the multiplayer, but it was all pretty much standard. The 12-person 6v6 maps.
Yeah, they just want to show off the new tech.
Yeah, they
And
brought
that's what
back
they
the
got
old
to do. It
Prestige
doesn't matter what
system.
levels and game modes. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be a good Call of Duty. It looks like this is a good on year
I'm
to
ready. I'm ready to play
scoop it
some
up.
COD. I miss it.
Zombies is back, so
Never
I
got
love
into
me
that,
some
but
Call
I'll
of Duty
play Call of
Zombies.
Duty.
Campaigns
What
are
about
always
the
crazy.
Warzone Yeah, I think Call of Duty always has great campaigns. Is the Warzone just gonna be its own thing though, right?
I think that's just its own side
Yeah.
thing now.
Okay. Okay.
So no, that's Call of Duty for me though. Looking forward to that coming out, and the fact that it's on Game Pass, I'll just
Yeah. Black
chug through
Ops
that for a while.
campaigns are good. I enjoyed it. I like the last one, I
I can't
think
believe it's 6
Cold War or whatever it
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't
It used to be
remember.
COD
in the
puts out
rotation.
a new one like every year.
Can't remember
basically.
the last Call of Duty campaign I played. It's
Oh,
been
really?
it's been a while. Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too, but I love
Well,
them.
by a while, I
Expensive to buy
mean I'm
everything.
talking like the first Modern Warfare 2, which it's funny that you have to
Yeah.
qualify that now because there's
Um,
2 Modern Warfare 2s.
Modern Warfare 2 is amazing. 1 and 2 are amazing.
Yeah,
3 was pretty good.
those were peak Call of Duty
you
for
but
me. I never really got much beyond that.
I thought Ghost was just as good as like 3. And I thought was it
World at Wars.
Infinite Warfare and
World at War was good too.
Infinite War and Advanced Warfare had really good campaigns. Advanced Warfare had just like a really cool opening level and closing
So
level.
Jon Snow.
No, that one was Kevin
Infinite?
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey,
Kevin
yeah.
Spacey was in.
Yep.
That was pretty good. But overall, I thought Infinite Warfare had a much better campaign experience. And there's this robot that's with you, just like in Titanfall. Very cool character. I loved it. It had a very sad like last level too, so I really was like kind of into that story. And that's why I'm like I want to play World War II because I heard that was like one of their best. And I've seen scenes from them. I'm like, man, this looks like some of their best work. I like Call of Duty, man. I like Call of Duty.
It's fun. It gets the time to kill is so quick, and you're
Yeah,
always
it's
running
smooth.
and doing stuff. It's just
60
like
frames.
That's
that
what I hate about it. Because I
adrenaline pumping.
fucking die every 2 seconds.
I don't know. You're good at shooters. You're good at Halo and stuff. But
That's not the same. Call of Duty's too twitchy.
no, I know.
for
Who
me.
see who's first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends.
Play with the squad though.
That's true. I always played. Yeah, I just always played.
Hey,
solo.
you got Game Pass or no? I mean, it'll be
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah. All right, Brandon.
Cool.
What do
Anything
you?
else on that,
Yeah.
Dave?
Next. No, I'm good.
What do you got over there,
Sure.
Brandon?
I'm gonna go through this real quick. I finished a couple games. I love when I finish games. So I've been finishing a couple games. One of them was Control. I don't like
Nice.
that game, but I finished it. I like Remedy. I like that studio. I thought Quantum Break was really good. I thought Control was just stupid. Hated the story.
Disagree. All around.
It makes no sense. I gotta watch a YouTube video to explain the world to me. Couldn't wait to
Disagree.
finish it.
I
The
downloaded
only
it
thing good
just to
about that
finish it.
game is the controls. I like that.
The
No
controls
pun
and
intended.
control.
I like that you can just pick people up and throw. I like that. I always like the force abilities in video games, and it does a good job with that. Story is stupid. I don't even know if I finished it, like at all. I don't know. I don't remember. It took me like a year to play this game. I don't know, but I finally finished it.
Did you at least did you like the part that everybody talked about when that game came out? The ashtray maze. Do you remember that part?
Dude, I've been playing this game for so long. I remember
the fucking part with the heavy metal, with the fucking heavy metal playing. And you're going through the maze, shooting these dudes. You don't remember this?
I need to start this.
Well, either way, this is the best part of the game. I love that.
I don't
game.
remember. Yeah, maybe I like
the DLC. Now, I tried to play the DLC and it was not great. One of the foundation DLC I thought was.
All I remember
boring,
at the end of this game was there's a big black thing. And it goes deep into the caverns, and I had to keep going lower and lower and lower to like close this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like it. And the game kind of ends kind of open ended, and like you can keep going doing like you can solve quests around here, something like that.
But yeah. I remember. I remember playing through it. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I did enjoy the story, but maybe it says something that I can't really remember a lot of specific story beats throughout that game. So
it makes no sense. I'm the director now. I don't know. I can't. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that. I finished Superhot. I thought that was phenomenal.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
I've been chipping away at that game, but like for some reason I just never finished.
Never finished Superhot. The last level's hard. Like it's
that's tough. Why I stopped. So I'm like, oh, and every time I went back to it, I finished, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna beat it. So it took me a little bit to get back in the rhythm, and then I finished it. You have to. There's that thing where you kind of go in and out of it a whole bunch of time, but then you're kind of like immortal and you can just fuck everybody up, and then the game's like, all right, we got to end this game. The ending is weird. It also felt appropriate. But
did
just
you play
the journey, just the experience.
You play the VR version?
No, I did not. Well, yeah, I did the demo, and that was really cool because like when you move,
awesome.
that is cool. And I want to play that. But what was really cool, I remember one day, randomly, I had a message from Xbox, and it says the developer sent you a message for the Superhot people. I'm like, all right. So Superhot messaged me and said, for buying our game, we want to thank you by giving you the sequel.
Oh yeah, right.
So I got Control Delete for free, and I'm like, and people say this, it's good as the first one. So
it's good. Yeah, I never finished it, but it's different, but it's good.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, just like an incredible game. There's nothing really like it. Very smart. So if you never played it, it's just really cool how bullets move and like you move in space. It moves time. Very cool concept. So I finished that. And then another thing was I never played any of these Mafia games until a few years ago. Mafia 3 came out and it was on sale for like $20. I'm like, hey, $20 for a decent third-person shooter
Hey.
like Grand Theft Auto. I'll play it.
Hey.
Pretty cool. I liked it. It was good, but nothing great, but it was good. And then Game Pass added Mafia 1 remaster or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Borderland Remake, they did definitely put like they updated the voices and a lot of stuff to it. So I played it and I'm like, all right, now I know why this is a franchise because the first game is actually really good. It's a really good
Dude, yeah.
story.
Mafia 1 and 2 are really good. I really like
Yeah, I
those
heard that
games.
2 is good too. Yeah. So
Couldn't get into 3.
I would say yeah, 3 is kind of boring.
Mhm.
But the first game
And they got
remastered,
porno mags in there.
dude, the game
They do.
yeah,
They have
game-
collectibles. Like
Yeah.
there's Playboys that are
Nudie
collectibles.
magazines.
Yeah.
anime. You can't look through them, but you collect them.
You can see the covers though.
Yeah.
Uh.
But the remaster was really good. Played it on my Xbox Series X. It was not 60 frames per second, which I'm surprised by, but it's a solid 30 frames a second. Everything is high res. Yeah, it's an old game, so like it's kind of like from a 360 kind of feel.
Yeah.
But I feel like they improved it most. It never threw me out like, I played it on like easy mode or normal, so it was fine. But there's little things that they did that I was like, oh, I love this shit. Like noir mode. You could just turn it on black and white mode. And I kept going in and out of like full color. No, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love old 40s movies, anyways, especially detective or movies or like mafia movies. So this is a great mafia story. And there was little things like I'm in an old car and I'm looking at all these old. Just the city looks amazing. I
Yeah.
fucking love
The street signs.
I love the look of 40s, 50s America. I love that look. It's like peak stone technology and brick technology. I just love it. It's just like everything is just wires and metal and stone. I just love it. It looks great. But anyways, I'm in my car and I'm listening to the radio, listen to like that old music, and it's kind of cool. But I go through a tunnel and the music starts fading out and it becomes static. And I was like, oh, I love that.
That's cool.
Like it
That's,
loses signal.
That's a
Like,
really
that's
good
this
little touch. Yeah.
little immersion there. So if you like Mafia movies, Mafia video games, if you missed Mafia the first time and you have access or an ability to like purchase the games super cheap or something like that, I think you would enjoy it. If there are side missions in that game, I ignore them all. I just focused on the main campaign like I did in LA Noir. Like I'm sure there's more going on with a Rockstar game, but I'm just caught up in the story. I like it, so I'm actually want to play
I
it.
remember the stories
That's what
being
I
good in Mafia 1 and 2. I remember like playing them and like those games actually got me into like wanting to watch Mafia movies. The same way like when I played Red Dead Redemption for the first time, I watched like Western movies after that. Yeah. So yeah, it was cool.
Yep.
Sweet.
So that was it. I want to get one more thing left. That'll be really quick. So I don't know if anybody wants to run through and.
Oh yeah,
I got
a couple things too, but I'll run through my
rapid fire.
Yeah, I'll do some rapid fire. I finished Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. That was like a month ago.
Yeah, how's that?
Fucking great. It's really fucking good. Okay.
How are the boss encounters in there? Are they good? Because they're great in Metal Gear Solid.
They are awesome. Yes, every single one of them. You have to. Yeah, you have to. I was playing the original, obviously. I didn't play the like the one in the Metal Gear Solid collection that came out last year, but I played the upgraded version because they came out with Snake Eater, and then they came out with Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, which had like updated controls. Like in the original one, it was like fixed camera angles. And like you didn't have full 3D camera control, but in Subsistence they added the full 3D camera control, and that's the version that I played. And it was
so weird.
If you're fighting with the controls, but once you get a handle on them, like I had an amazing time. And like at the end I even kind of like teared up a bit because the story is really good.
Metal Gear?
Yeah, man.
The Metal Gear Solid 3 is getting a remake.
Oh, I know. And after I finish this,
play that.
after I finish the original, it makes me so much more excited to play the remake.
And you played Metal Gear Solid 5 for a hot minute, right?
I was playing Metal Gear Solid 5. I finished the
Yeah.
remake of the first game too, the Twin Snakes. So I've been Metal Gearing
wow.
lately.
You're a little Metal Gear guy.
Resident
I'm
expert.
getting in there. The next thing is Metal Gear Solid 4. There's
Yeah, I heard that's
currently
pretty
no way to play that other than if you own a PlayStation
PS3.
3. So that's stuck
That's
on that
stupid.
console now. So there's been rumblings lately that Konami is gonna bring it to like the Volume 2 Master Collection. Yeah, so
Yeah, they will. They
excited
will.
for
You know
that.
they will.
Let's see what else. The Plucky Squire. Have you guys heard of this one?
I've heard of this one. Yes.
It's all right.
All right.
It's all right. The whole
Alright.
gimmick is like you're the storybook character who gets pulled out of your book, and then you have to basically the villain of the story is changing the story around. So you have to get back in your book and save the whole world. It's okay. I played like an hour and a half of it or so. It's kind of like a Zelda, like Zelda Light, I would say.
Okay.
Like with the combat and like with some of the items that you're getting and upgrades, but I don't know if I'll go back to it. I was hoping it was shorter, around like the 4 to 5 hour mark, but I've heard it's like 8 to 10 hours. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to go back and actually play through that whole thing.
Games, like, yeah,
might overstay its welcome a bit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that was.
I love me a good 5 to 6 hour game. Honestly, I really do like that.
Yeah, 5 hours
you
for
for
like
watching.
a
I
small
love that.
indie game is
Yeah.
like the sweet spot for sure.
Yeah.
We played Riders Republic a little bit.
yeah.
Well, I know Brandon and
I
Dave
played a
played
little bit with
together,
you guys, but not what. Yep.
and then Dave and
So
I
cool.
played together, and then I
Yeah.
played some more by myself.
Hey, you actually worked in the campaign.
I was
it?
getting into it. Like I
Fun?
still want to go back to it. I
I'm
love
gonna
these.
check that out.
I love these type of games.
I want my kids to play it too. I think because Dave was talking about how his kids like got on top of a mountain and just like, all right, just
Yeah, they
go
just-
down the hill on a bike.
dude. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
You play
easy
around
to-
with like the rocket suit and the wingsuit and
well,
shit.
it's so
funny,
fun
like,
because you can switch sports on the fly. So like if you're in a rocket suit,
On the
like
fly,
500 feet in the
open
air,
world.
you can just change into a fucking. You're on a bicycle and you're just falling 500 feet down to the ground.
Mhm.
Like
I like the fact that like we figured it out, the technology, but like there's this massive level.
Yeah.
And like there's like a bunch of people, like 30 people are in the server with you, but then it's doing that Forza thing where
yeah, it's very
it's,
Forza like with
filling
like
up the
extreme
rest
sports.
of the world with 1,000 ghosts of other players'
Thousands of
data.
them, all over.
Like it's insane. Like you literally just go up in the sky and look down, you just see all these dots of people, and they're like,
Well, Dave and I also did some of the mass races, which are also really
Oh,
cool.
those are good.
It's like
too,
the
yeah.
64
Oh,
people
that's cool.
online races, and it's all real
"Oh,
people.
okay." Like what? Like a bike?
Yeah,
bike
you're
race?
like
You just
racing
go
down
down-
a fucking mountain.
And then you go through a checkpoint and it'll
Can't hit
switch
each
over to
other
the
there, right?
jetpack, and then you'll jetpack
Yeah,
through a
you can
thing,
you
and then it'll
switch
switch over
sports.
to fucking bicycle again,
Oh.
and then you go do that.
Were you on the
section.
same team or just 1v1?
We're all
Everybody for
competing,
themselves.
yeah, against each other. Yep. But yeah, those were really
Yeah.
cool. Seeing
Cool.
the like just all those people all in one,
And you can
race.
bump like that's one where you can actually like bump people and.
I was
Okay,
hoping for like some road rash stuff where you can fucking punch them off their bikes or
Yeah.
whatever. That would be cool.
Well, that's what we need. Road Rash Battle Royale.
That would be sick. Yeah.
Road Rash
You know,
Battle Royale. Make it an online free game and let everybody buy their fucking jackets and bikes and helmets.
like
right?
F-Zero.
Other than that, like
99.
everybody just like is picking up weapons and we just go to town. Why isn't that a thing?
Road Rash
Why
99.
you doing
Yeah, right.
it?
Yep.
Go make it. You guys are developers. You can make it. Easy.
Last thing that I had, Balatro just came out on mobile today.
Oh no!
So it's on Apple Arcade, which I have Apple Arcade through
Oh,
like the Apple
no.
like One family thing where you
He's
get
like, I gotta get on
Apple
my
Music
iPhone
and
now.
TV and arcade.
It might ruin my life.
Yeah, I beat my first run on like the tutorial seed. So like I'm back in it fully. So that's gonna be a problem.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yep. So I played. I mean, I already played like 40 or 50 hours of this game on my Steam Deck, and now I'm gonna play even more on my phone. So
I might, because I stalled out a little bit on the Switch because my kid's always playing that, and I think I got through maybe like 5 or 6 decks.
yeah,
Like, I didn't get terribly far.
I beat
it,
I beat every deck, and I beat up to like I think like the highest stake on one of the decks. So like I got pretty into it, but like On your phone,
Having
it's
that
like
on
it's
your
right
phone,
there.
yeah,
You just pick it up and play it.
That is trouble. It's only $10 on Android. It looks like.
Yep.
You just answer your Google surveys. I think I have like $8 built up. That means I just pay $1 for Balatro.
It's 100% worth it, and it translates so good to phone because you can just you're just dragging shit around. You're tapping your cards.
Yeah, and
on the touch screen.
you could just do a hand and then put your phone down, go do something else, and then you pick it up, do another hand. You just gotta remember what your jokers are really, but nice. That's pretty cool.
It was it felt really good to just hop back in there after. I mean, it's been a couple months since I've picked it up, so I hop back in there. I fucking beat my first run, and I'm like, okay, yep, I'm back in it, baby.
You feel it?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
That's good. I do have a couple more. Well, Brandon looks like he got up to go do something. I have been, since mine's a Moria fucking crapped out on me on my save. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go play some September. I'm gonna just go do Halloween grab bag of whatever I can get.
Yeah.
So I started playing the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh, okay.
Which I've never played. It seems just as good as 2. Like the super
I've heard
smooth.
it's short, really nice. Which is a plus for me. Like I've heard it's only like 5 or 6 hours.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it's really short.
Oh man, that's inspiring right now for me. Started playing. I got back into Dead Island 2 because we were playing that for a little bit and then it fell off.
It was fun co-op.
So
yeah.
I figured, fuck it, I might as well, because I like the first game and I played a shit ton.
And it takes 40 gigs of space on your hard drive, so you gotta get that fucking thing played and get off.
Get it out and get out of here. State of Decay 2. That one's a good zombie game. That one's fun to play.
I was gonna ask you, Dave. You're gonna bring this up, but have you dipped into the Dead Rising remaster yet?
No, not yet.
I was gonna say, I know you're a big Dead Rising fan, so I'm surprised.
That one's one I'll wait for sale because
it's.
I haven't played the first one in ages.
Right?
No, people love it. It's great.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I saw one where people were like doing comparisons where like visually it looked better in the past on some things.
No, I don't
no
think
way.
So. No, okay.
I heard they stick pretty close to it. They fixed a lot of the stuff in the save. I think it was the save game
system.
The
controls are better. The controls are stupid.
The controls,
they overhauled all that stuff. Yep.
I remember getting to the boss fight in that first game, and I'm like, I'm done, because like it was like the right. I don't know. They inverted the controls, and like your left stick was doing what you would do. I'm like, I
think they fixed it. They updated it to like the Dead Rising 4. I'm guessing because you can walk and move and run.
Yeah, you can
shooting stuff.
Right. Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, okay. All right. That I like.
They still have a time mechanic in it, which
I mean that's people are saying it makes the series.
It makes more sense. It makes more sense nowadays though too because we play like roguelikes more of a thing back
exactly.
then. So
it's basically a roguelite.
Yeah. But no, getting the Halloween games in. Fallout 76 put out Halloween updates. They have a caravan update. I won't bore you guys to death with that stuff, but still finishing up Dredge. Me and Brandon played a little bit Age of Mythology. That one was
dude. I'm still playing it. After this, I'll probably just do another skirmish because I just love an RTS.
RTSs,
yeah. We all played that Doom 2 multiplayer, and
that was fun.
That was a random.
Fun.
Yep.
A random night just hopping on, but it's weird playing Doom with other people.
Is happy that he got to play the campaign with friends finally because
I remember
trying to do it. Yeah. Our modems couldn't handle it back in the day, so
no, you had to upgrade to the 28.8 baud modem.
Dude, I had a 36.6 and like yeah.
Still couldn't handle it, huh?
Did they
couldn't connect?
Did they have like the co-op and competitive multiplayer back in the day, like when it first came? Really? Okay, I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that was on only Doom 2 though, right? Or was that on the first one too?
That's a good question. I don't know about that.
All right.
Well, if the floppy disks handle that, but now playing random stuff. I like a grab bag this time of year before the heavy guns come out and I get sucked in.
Yeah, good sales are coming in on big games.
I think after Astro Bot, I need to go back and finally finish Ghost of Tsushima since the sequel just got announced.
Yeah, I know, dude. Oh my god,
God of War Ragnarok also is on my list to fucking finish.
I gotta do both God of War games. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
man.
I'm with you on that. You guys
Backlog's
put them on the
piling up.
list. Put them on the fucking show, and it'll force me to like. Oh, I
That's
gotta do the 2
true.
God of War games.
Yeah, that is true.
Gee, I gotta play the 2 amazing God of War games.
Poor you.
But they are
You know,
like 30 hours each, so it is a bit of a commitment.
Oh, they're that long?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
damn.
big boys.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Kratos
Alright, well.
doesn't know a little game. All right. You got anything left,
All
Brandon?
right. Yeah, I just got one last thing.
What you got?
One last thing. Finally got around to watching Ted Lasso. You've been telling me to
Oh,
watch it
yeah.
for
Good, right?
So it is my wife calls this the perfect show.
Yes.
Oh,
We
high
watched
praise.
it. We flew through those first 3. We did those 3 seasons
Yeah.
so quick. We just crushed that
Gobble-
show.
like,
Mhm.
Loved it.
it's so
Loved it.
good.
It's so easy just to fucking blow through it, you know? It's such
you're
an
right.
easy watch.
He makes you want to be a better person. He
Mhm.
makes you want to be like, what would Ted Lasso do? He probably would have a cute little saying and a smile on his face and just like, all right, we'll just go with it and just do it, you know. And so yeah, it's great. Everything about it is good. It's weird. It ends kind of abruptly, but like it makes sense, I guess.
It
Like
ties
it ends.
so many
It
ends together.
It ends on
and
such a high
yeah.
note. It's sad when it ends though, but the characters are sad that it's ending with it. So that's what makes it like such a good ending because like you relate to the ending of this 3rd season so much. But then I find out that they're making a 4th season, so it's like, oh,
Wait, what?
They are? I thought they were
Are they?
done.
yeah. The rumor is he's going to coach a women's team. So
Oh,
if you haven't
interesting.
watched Ted Lasso, this is real quick. We've talked about it, many people have, but this American football coach, and he's only like what, college or something like that.
College coach, yeah.
Yeah. And he's just like known for just being like this genuine nice guy and got the players to love him. And he can just, his love for the sport and whatever. He's just a good person and he goes and
Motivates him. He's a motivator.
motivate. He
Mhm.
motivates and he's just adorable and charming and all that stuff. And he ends up going to England to leave the States and go take a job with his number 2, his assistant coach, Coach Beard. And they are trying to take a soccer team and make them a winning team. It seems like they were not winning or something like that. I can't remember the situation, but they were looking for a coach. Turns out the woman that owns the team was going through a bad divorce, and she just wants the team to tank, kind of like Major League, the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where like this woman just wants the team to lose, but they show with integrity and and just the love of the sport and like taking the high road. So that's not what the show's about though at all. That's just kind of like the first few episodes, and
It's
then
about people.
she becomes
right?
and
Yeah.
at the end, then it's like she's actually not a villain of the show at all. She's just a woman who was going through a bad divorce and wanted to take it out on this man, but she's a strong woman. And she has her own story arc. Everybody has a story arc, and the players, the assistants,
Dude,
the
yeah,
marketing
I
girl,
love those
like
type
all
of
these
shows
characters.
where they spend time with each character. That's why I love The Bear so much because they did the same thing.
That's the next one. We're
Dude,
gonna do the bear next.
You guys will love
Yep.
that. Yeah, it's a great show.
Yep, I've heard great things. So yeah, it's just good. It's good to finally get around to seeing it, and it's perfect. Even if you're not into soccer,
Like
it's like
I can't imagine a human being watching that and telling me that that they didn't like it or like.
Right?
What kind of person would you be to be like, I watched Ted Lasso.
Joyless,
it
fucking
like, what is wrong? with you?
miserable pile of shit.
so. My wife and I coach our 6-year-old soccer team, and on practice I don't bring a whistle, so we don't
You go,
bring a whistle
"Whistle!"
to practice. So we just go whistle. Oi! We don't do the swearing, but of Roy. But
Roy Kent's the
yeah.
best.
Yep.
Oh, who's your favorite? Do you guys have a favorite character? I mean, Ted Lasso is obviously an easy favorite, but like anybody else outside of Ted on the show that you ended up like that I would love to see more of that character. Because mine was Jamie Tart.
I was gonna say Jamie had a
but
really
they
good
really-
arc. Yeah.
They did a really beautiful arc. That
Mhm.
romance they had with Roy
Yeah.
in Paris or whatever it was, and he's learning how to ride a bike. I just thought Jamie was so well written.
Yeah, Jamie and
he's not
and
coming
Roy
back
are,
in the 4th season. So
Yeah.
it
No?
sucks.
Roy's
but
tops.
I liked him.
Yeah, I do. I love Roy because I
Roy?
can relate. I can relate. I'm a crusty old man a lot of times. I feel like Roy, you
Roy
know,
is good. He's up there too.
but he's a sweetheart. Once you get past that
That
crusty
They're
rough
all
exterior
exterior.
shell,
good
Yeah.
people. Yeah, they're all good people. Even the fucking the
shitty assistant coach.
yeah, what's his name? They call him Matt, the
Yeah,
kid
why can't I think of?
something.
Yeah, I can't think of his name either.
The joke, the nickname they give him, the Wonder Kid.
Yeah,
Wonder Kid, right?
but he goes and plays or what? West Ham. He goes
Nate?
to
Nate.
Nate.
Nate. Yep,
Yes.
that's
Nate.
it.
It was Nate. Yeah. Even Nate, yeah, who's a little worm, which you never see coming. Not to ruin the show for people, but just like
Spoiler.
show goes in places that like you'll never guess. Like that character turns out to be kind of a dick. He's so like cute and like dorky and like he's got this arc and then like you think and he goes to the dark side. It's just like in the show, I just didn't see it come. It's very cool. So I applaud everything about the and I hope he does another show. Like he wrote this character so well in this show so well. I mean, who'd have thought this random SNL guy
Apple TV
was
show,
so
like, right?
so good at I mean, like it's truly one of the best shows I've seen. Like every character got closure. Not many shows can do. Even Breaking Bad couldn't even do that. So I got to give it props.
Yeah, good show.
Absolutely.
All right,
Glad
that's a long
you're a
episode.
Lasso head.
Hell
The name
yeah.
of my
Finally,
football
I got the
team is the
mustache.
Diamond Dogs.
Yeah, there
Right.
you go.
Yeah. Yep. Diamond Dogs. Oh. Yeah.
All right. Is that it?
Take us home.
Is that everything? All
Put
right.
me to bed.
Yeah,
Tuck me in.
It's getting late. This was a longy. Yeah. Well, do we know what's next on the schedule? I know we had a couple
On the
ideas, but I don't know if we locked
some
it in.
horror stuff.
We
We're
have
going to
Tokyo.
horror stuff now.
Let's see. It is Tokyo Vampire Hotel is coming up.
I don't even know what that is,
October.
but sure.
I think that was
Find
recommended in the suggestions channel a while back, and
Sure.
Nomads be traveling, so
That's right.
we're heading to Tokyo. And then I think after that one we had Tumbad,
Oh,
which was
yes.
an Indian horror movie.
I'm actually excited for that one. It's supposed to be regarded as one of the best like Indian horror films out there. So
I don't like scary movies, so hopefully it's not too scary. We'll see. But yeah, that's what we got coming up in October, and we'll hit you up with another catch up at the end of the month.
sweet. All right. Well, you can look forward to all that in the coming weeks. But for now, if you want to follow us, you can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter and Instagram. You can join our Discord, the nomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. Play our game that we made, whatmapgame.com. Yeah, I think that's really about it. TikTok at Nomads, at the Nomads of Fantasy, and youtube.com/@nomadsoffantasy, twitch.tv/nomadsoffantasy, all the stuff.
Everywhere.
Just search the Nomads of Fantasy or go to the nomadsoffantasy.com for all your nomad needs. But until next time, safe travels, Nomads.
Peace out.